Instead of constantly fighting water, pushing back water, we actually let more water within the urban fabric and create solutions to live on them.
Dit is Tegenlicht, met een Nigeriaanse blik op leven met het water.
Water is life. I don't think there's anybody on earth that doesn't make use of water. Omi labu, any koko kimbo me shota, which means we drink water, we bathe with water, we do everything with water. Even when we are inside our mother's womb, we live inside water. So water is very important in human existence.
So, I think what is interesting about this place, some of the interesting things look at the construction. Look at that house, for instance, that building, for instance. It's made of completely recycled material, like the walls, the ceilings. Look at this. There's probably no singular piece it's all kind of within the community. This is bamboo, but you still see that some of the houses are collapsing, right? That is kind of falling back, it's not straight because the foundation is not great. It's very difficult to get it right. And although the quality of construction is not great, there are things that are amazing about this place. The fact that they've realized that lightweight timber construction, bamboo and raffia, they are things that they can use to build, that they can find locally. And they've been able to build all these thousands of houses and homes, right? Look at this is your supermarket on the boat, right? You can buy anything. You have a whole community right on the boat living. There are churches, there are mosques, there are schools. For me, there's life and this is an ecosystem that is already working. And it has its challenges. The water is polluted. There's, the sanitation is poor. They don't have clean drinking water. They don't have a constant supply of energy. But these are things that technology can solve. Water cities, and specifically the African water cities as a project, is invested in Makoko specifically because that's where we began, that's where we're inspired. It began at a point in time where we were researching affordable housing on the continent and specifically in Lagos, and we realized that the community of Makoko seemed to be building the cheapest dwellings in the city, and wanted to understand how they could achieve so much with so little. Africa is one of the fastest growing continents in the world. It's said to be one of the most affected by the impact of climate change, but also a place of opportunities, a lot of ingenuity. There's still a lot of room for rethinking the future of African cities. We're trying to build inclusive, affordable, and sustainable building systems and infrastructure solutions to ensure no one is left behind in the face of this rapidly changing urban contexts and climate challenges.
Our major occupation is fishing. That's why we arrange ourselves where water is. We have 42,000 people living in Adugbo, Migbewe, Nyasiwe, Apollo, excluding Okwagbo and Sogulu. Our major occupation that lead us to live in the water, because when we see fish, fish normally live in the water. So we people that want to catch fish, we have to be in water to catch the fish.
Water is very important in human existence. Even when it is raining, I used to say it jokingly, I said, "OMI NI MÍ, I am water." So I see no reason why I should be scared.
We have been born in this water, so we cannot be afraid of it. You can see the age of 5 years child praying on the boat in the water. So we have been adopted to it, so we cannot be afraid of it again.
Yemoja is an Orisha. She is one of the water bodies, the Orisha of water. Among the whole Orisha, she is the mother for all Orishas. In Yoruba land, Ibadan to be precise, this is Yemoja Ibadan Festival. Each day is dedicated to different Orishas, whereby we give offerings to them. We introduce a new yam to Orisha Yemoja, which marks the beginning of a new year.
Mama, balelo, balelo. Mi go eji, mama wo.
The first prototype was called Makoko Floating School. And it was a school intended for use as a school, but also as a public space. The school deteriorated over time and eventually came down in a rainstorm. But the fundamental basis of it has always been a prototype for developing solutions for climate adaptation. There's been a lot of learnings technically to build on water and to build with local materials, to build with local resources. And I don't think it's very specific to Makoko Floating School or even the Water Cities Initiative. I think you would always, the community engagement and community interaction is very, very key. If we never built Makoko Floating School, we would never be where we are today. We're somewhat at the outskirts of the community now. This is the real waterfront of the community. We've moved from the land side and we've kind of reached the waterfront side. Right there is actually the city. So the floating school was actually built right here, and our current proposal for the pilot phase, which is about 2.5 hectares of water essentially, is in that area, in the back there. So it means looking at the buildings that are there, looking at the homes that are there, redeveloping them, improving those that need to be improved, building new ones that will be up to standards, making sure that there's energy, water, waste management systems. How do you build a city and a community on water in Africa? We've passed the proof of concept. We've seen how it works. We've seen it in different regions. We've improved on that technology. We've developed a standardized, prefabricated, flat pack, easy to assemble, easy to disassemble solution, almost an IKEA floating structure type of thing that you can almost buy off the shelf and assemble yourself, all with a community of small number of people, to develop real estate, housing, schools, healthcare, solutions, infrastructure on water. And we have one full evidence that is working in Cape Verde called the Mansa Floating Music Hub. Now we want to scale that into a community using other building solutions, stilt housing, houses on water. In fact, in our inventory of building solutions, we even have towers, which we call water scrapers, that could be living with their footprints in water. It's a futurist vision that is entrenched in the past and the realities of the present. Makoko was considered an illegal settlement, an eyesore, and it was not contributing to the development and the beautification of Lagos. Being illegal meant that you are not allowed to build on water, and that is one of the biggest challenges we see in terms of just giving legitimacy to the community, that this is a community that should exist and should continue to exist on water, but needs to be improved and needs to have all the infrastructure. So how did that change? First of all, there was a lot of resistance and a lot of protest and a lot of support from the community, showing that they wanted to be there, they needed to remain there, that their lives matter, and that they were contributing to the development of the city, that there was actually ingenuity and resources that could be gotten from that settlement.
These are the Makoko people protesting about the eviction from their place. The Makoko people have been known to live on top of the water for 107 years. And last week precisely, on the 16th of July 2012, they were evicted from their homes. And today they are saying no to it by going to the state governor. They are going to the government house to tell the governor, no, you cannot evict us without temporary place of relocation. You can see them, the crowd is mad here.
The Irumolers are primordial divinities. The Irumolers are the ones that comes from Ikolioro to Ikoliaye when Oludumare was trying to create the world. The divinity, the primordial divinities, and Orisha. Back then, Imoja was part of the Orishas when they were given birth to as human beings that lives among people like us before they transit into Orisha. Oludumare encompasses the beauty of life. He showcases power through the supernatural forces, through nature, in which water is actually part of them.
So what we told our able government is that we want to build house on water because that's our major occupation.
As one.
We have joined hands together with Kunle Adeyemi for the water cities so that we can be able to live in water, so that we can be able to continue with our major occupation. So Lagos State government have already agreed with community.
We would need the political will of the government, full endorsements of the government to approve what we have proposed with the community and with the agencies of the government and with the UN agencies. We have been working on this for several years. Careful. Clarice, the risk of toppling over. If that ever happens, just hold your breath and close your mouth.
It is not possible for you to try to move away things. You are trying to channel nature into a way it's not supposed to be. Olodumare that actually makes things work, that did it in that way, has his own reason for doing it like that. Omi o lapa, omi gbegi, omi o lese, omi gbe eyan lo. Ìṣòro ayé mi, omi gbe lo. Which means water does not have hands nor legs, but can carry trees, can uproot trees with their roots.
Can we build a water city in the Netherlands?
Yeah, I think many parts of the Netherlands are presumably water cities and communities, but there's still a lot of room for expanding that concept. Amsterdam, of course, is a city that has a lot of its waterways and a lot of infrastructure on water and has buildings on and around water. But there's still so much more room to expand the real estate of water within the urban fabric. So instead of constantly fighting water, pushing back water, we actually let more water within the urban fabric and create solutions to live on them.
The most important is that people need to understand that nature itself, it's so much important to us that we need to embrace it. It is not possible for you to cheat nature. When it comes, it comes.